Did Apple deliver, or is the Fed going to do it today? Hello, Market Club members everywhere. Adam Hewison here, co-founder of Market Club, with your midday market report for Thursday, the 13th of September. We're coming to you a little bit early today because we want to beat the Fed in terms of their announcement at 12:30. Let's get started. Did Apple deliver, or is the glass half full or half empty? Okay, now that the iPhone 5 is out, the question becomes, is what Apple delivered a superior product or a new game changer for the industry? Only time in the market can answer those questions. Apple and the German courts have all made their announcements this week, and that info has been talked about and digested and is now off the table. What the market is waiting for is the Fed, which will announce today at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time their decision and view on the economy. We have to say that the Fed has done a better job than Apple in keeping their cards close to their vest on this announcement. The market is divided in terms of whether the Fed is going to give us another QE3 or an ongoing QE program or do nothing. A small minority think that there will be nothing announced today and that the Fed will continue to watch their data for more signs of a recession. We know what the charts are saying, and we prefer to go with that sentiment over all others. Now let's go to the charts and our trade triangles and see what's happening today. We do have a game changer in a major market. It'll be showing you that in just a few seconds, so stay tuned. So let's go to our portfolio manager, and as you can see, we've got a lot of hundreds here. And let's start off with the S&P 500. And as you can clearly see, the market's higher for the day. It is, we've said this before for the last several days, this is a consolidation phase. We expect the market to come higher. No matter what the Fed does, if we pull back, the 1420, 1425 levels, good support. We want to be a buyer there. I think the news is going to be coming out. The surprise would be if it doesn't come out, but I think the market's just headed high. This is just too big an energy field for this market to ignore. You just see, we talked about this huge energy field this market's been bringing up, and you can see, excuse me for showing you that, no need to see that, but you can see this huge energy field this market has right here, and we've just broken over right there. So you can see major breakout. We've got our monthly trade triangles, weekly and daily, all positive, a plus 100. It's a strong trend, and that's the key to remember. It's a strong trend on the upside. So let's see how that works out, and we'll go to our next market. But let's clear the screen right now. So going to our next market, and that's going to be the Dow. The Dow is also in a bull market. If you may remember, we had a signal on that just a couple of days ago right here, and that was at 13,330 with 13,364, so a few points profit in that. Looking very good. If we close up here, it'll be a new high close, and certainly the same energy field applies to this market as well. You can just, it's very, very clear. You can see the market just absolutely, I think, really acting very, very well. And people, there's no return on money in the banks anymore, so people want to buy stocks or do something to get a return on the money. And I think what they're doing right now is going into stocks, and they're going into commodities as well. So let's clear the screen. This is like deja vu 1970 again, with inflation coming down the line. No one's going to admit it yet. No, certainly no politician is going to tell you that. But what we're doing is inflating ourselves out of the problems we're having. Whether that works or not remains to be seen. Certainly the markets are saying that we're going higher, and that's all we want to listen to right now. You may remember a couple of days ago we talked about trading from a desert island. Well, this is exactly what would happen. You would not have the news on the announcement from the Fed. You wouldn't have the announcement from the German court. And you wouldn't know about Apple, but you'd know about what the markets are doing, and that's the key thing. Again, this is the NASDAQ. Several days, a little consolidation. Looks like it wants to go higher. We've come from an overbought situation, so it's looking much better. I think we'll see this market trend higher as well. Now, this is the big game changer for the day. Crude oil, yes, we broke over the 98 level, 98.21 right now. That's the 98.29 was the buy on the monthly. It changed all of our trade triangles to a green mode, and we close over $98 today. We're going to go higher. Again, we've got major problems in the Middle East. That is not going to be solved anytime soon. we have any kind of attack on an installation in the region on one of the oil installations, and we could see crude oil very easily topping over $100, $105 without too much of a problem. So again, very, very bullish formation here. We've been long, as you may remember, we talked about this before. If you follow our World Cup portfolio, our first signal on the weekly was 87.50, and it's 98.25, so nice profits in there. The last signal we had on the daily was 96.74. That's a nice profit in that market, a $1.50 right now, which is $1,500 on a futures contract. So let's clear the screen, go to our next market. But remember, oil traded from the long side, you still have a very strong trend line in place. So if you just put this trend line from the lows, sorry, let me just clear the screen, sorry. Yeah, the trend line from the lows right here, you can see it's pretty much in place. These rhythms, this market looks like it wants to have one more push up, certainly to the major resistance level, which comes in around 104, 105. So let's see how that plays out. But again, be long oil. This is the market to be long. We've got every futures market is pretty much in a bull trend right now, indicating things are going to be more expensive, and that's something to watch. Now, same with the euro. We've been bullish on the euro. As you can see, our monthly kicked in here, and that's from 127.47. It's 129 now, so it's a nice $1.50 profit on that, and that's a really nice profit. The only concern I have, a little bit of a concern I should say, is you do have a little bit of a divergence here when we've been going higher. That frequently indicates that you're going to see a potential pullback. So again, this is a small divergence, but not a big deal. I would expect more consolidation, then eventually a move to the 130, 135 level, which we're talking about somewhere up here. So between these levels, 130 to 135 is our target zone, and that's the previous highs we saw right here, and that's about 134. So let's see how that plays out. But generally speaking, the trend is your friend, and the trend is clearly up in this market. So let's go to our next market, and that's the gold. The gold, as you know, we're positive on. Look at this tight range here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days we've been going sideways. 1733 is where we are right now, a little bit higher for the day. Not a lot, but the market's had it's incredibly bullish after a big move up, and you see this tight range like this, indicating the market should be going higher. The reason I say that, I remember a long time ago in my early part of my career, I remember going short here and getting killed. So I've always remembered that lesson. When the market does this, it's a bullish sign, not a bearish sign. So the trend is your friend. Trend is clearly higher from 1670 on the monthly, which is back here. And remember, we're 1733, so it's up 60, 70 bucks from where we got an original buy point. So we expect this market to trade over $2,000 this time. So let's go to our next market. We're going to be covering a couple of other markets today as well, which I'll tell you about in just a moment. But this is the copper market. Again, copper has had a nice move up, and it looks like it wants to go higher. So let's see how that plays out. Again, we've got a nice energy field. All these markets are coming from, we consider to be very strong energy fields, and this looks really, really nice. So I think that looks really good. And over here, of course, it's a nice breakout. That was the 355 level, which we talked about. We kicked in at 356.25 on the monthlies. Perfect timing. Again, market's at 369, looking very, very good in that market. So let's clear that screen off, and let's go to our next market. Next market, silver. Silver was really one of the leaders here, but it's seen a little bit of a profit taking coming in. Still looking good, though. Don't dismiss silver right now. This is still a bullish market, and it still looks like it wants to go higher. One of the reasons we want to say it's bullish, and I'll show you the reason why. Let's just go to a simple line chart, take everything else off the chart, and we'll just take a simple line chart, and I'll show you what I mean. So let's just take that off, take our triangles off, and scope this out just a little bit further so we get more. And here's what I want to share with you. So just taking from the trend line, from the highs right here, just drag this down, perfect trend line, boom, you can see it clicked right through there. That is a huge game changer. This is a trend line that goes all the way back until May 2nd of 2011. So it's a long-term trend line, And remember, the longer the trend line, the more powerful a move. I think you've got two things going for you here. You have what I consider to be a major double bottom right here. And this is a big pivot point. So that's a key thing to remember. If we go through this level here, which is around the 37 level, then we're going to see this market really take off and challenge the all-time highs of around, I would say, 49 to 50. And I think this time we'll probably make new highs with all the inflation expectations. So let's clear the screen, go to our next market. And the next market we're looking at is the Reuters Jeffries Index. Again, we've been very, very bullish on this market simply because we felt that inflation is on the way. And if we put our monthlies in, you can see we've been long here on our monthlies from the 308 level. We're currently trading at 316. Definitely a trend is up. This is where we expect the market to find some resistance around the 320 level. And the reason for that is we saw a potential, let me scope this out just a little bit further. That's the wrong way, Adam. And there we go. So we saw a game changer. I'm going to take all the monthlies off. A very simple trend line. We're going to drag from this level here and drag that down. So you can see it comes right around the 320 level, which is this high here. And I think that's going to be a little bit of a stop for this market, maybe consolidation, but I think eventually we'll go higher. And obviously, crude oil being a big game changer today, if that kicks in, we could very easily see crude oil, if things get really, really scary, could go a lot higher, a lot higher. So let's be very cognizant of the Middle East, because that's definitely a powder keg of activity, and we could see some really big moves here on the upside in the CRB index. So let's just close the screen up. Let's take a look at Apple. Apple announced yesterday the iPhone 5. I'm a huge fan of Apple, but really what they gave us was a bigger Apple iPhone, faster processor, and really not, I mean, obviously we've been on a tear great since they announced the iPhone in 2007, I believe it was. You can see this market's just done nothing but go higher. Huge game changer for Apple, but the question is, there's competition with Samsung, some of the HTC phones that are coming out, excellent phones using the Android system, but Apple certainly has a good lock in this market, but can it deliver this time? A lot of people think it can. So let's just take a closer look at this market, and let's take a look at the charts. Now, here we are. It's we haven't made a new high yet, and the question is it going to make a new high? So that's a little bit of concern. The monthlies obviously are very positive from 355. That's $355. Market's currently trading at 678. Again, these monthly trade triangles are incredibly important in the equity markets, so really pay attention to them. The key level I'd watch here in Apple would be these levels right here, and that's right just below the, I would say right around the 655 level. I would say if it goes below 655, then you'll see a lot more profit taking coming in a potential pullback. And let's just put the pullback in where we think this pullback could go. Maybe the 625 level, maybe the 611 area, but nonetheless, the trend is your friend. It's 85 plus 85. That's a strong trend. So let's go to our next market. Next market we're going to look at is actually the USO, which is an ETF. And you can see the ETF kicked in. It tracks crude oil very well. It kicked in today at 36.45. It's pretty much where it is now. I'll just trade it down at 36.40. But nonetheless, this market is in a bull market, and we think it's time to get long in this market. So you can see our monthly kicked in here. We tend to use the weeklies more in futures, and you can see the weeklies really got in some nice positions here, right here, for example. From 32.03, it's 36.40, so it's acting very, very well. So again, trend is your friend. Go with the trend, very, very key. So lots going on. We'll be looking for the announcement at 12:30 from the Fed. I think it's not going to make a lot of difference. I think once it's out of the way, traders will once again resume their bullish stance on most of the markets. So let's see how that plays out. I'm Adam Hewison for Market Club. Have a great day trading. Watch out for that Fed announcement at 12:30. And we'll see how the markets close. Remember, tomorrow is Friday. We love Friday closes, so I'll see you tomorrow.